Look around your living room right now. Like, seriously, take a physical look around. How many connected smart devices do you see? I mean, there's your phone and your laptop, sure, but what else? In this explainer, we're looking at a pretty terrifying reality from 2026, how your everyday, innocent-looking smart devices are quietly being weaponized. Think about that smart TV, or, the video doorbell you installed last year, or the smart thermostat on your wall. Maybe you've even got connected light bulbs, a robot vacuum, a baby monitor. Here's a really unsettling idea. Any one of those innocent-looking devices sitting in your home right now could secretly be part of a weaponized cyber army. And the absolute scariest part? You would have absolutely no idea.
18 billion. Let that number just sink in for a second. By 2026, there are over 18 billion Internet of Things, or IoT devices, worldwide. That's more than 2 devices for every single person on Earth. And each and every one of these devices, it's a potential frontline troop for hackers. They're just sitting in your home, connected to your network, quietly waiting for orders.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. What is a botnet? Your devices, someone else's army. We really need to demystify exactly how your personal devices get drafted into this digital warfare. So the term botnet actually comes from robot network. It's basically a collection of internet-connected devices that have been infected with malware and are controlled remotely by a hacker, who's often called a bot herder. Honestly, it's kind of like a zombie movie. Each infected device is a zombie. To you, it looks totally normal, right? It's still turning on your lights or recording your front porch. But underneath, it's secretly taking orders from a villain. And when enough of these zombies gather, well, you've got an army. So once these digital armies are gathered, what do they actually do? Well, hackers use them for a whole bunch of malicious stuff. They can overwhelm websites with massive amounts of traffic until they just crash. That's known as a DDoS attack. They can blast out millions of spam emails, steal data from the networks these devices are connected to, or even secretly use your electricity to mine cryptocurrency. There's even this thriving, crazy criminal business model where hackers rent out these botnets to other criminals, literally botnet as a service. Let's move to and see how this builds. Section 2. How devices are hijacked from store shelf to botnet soldier. The reality of how this happens is shockingly fast, and it's mostly automated. It starts with scanning. Hackers run AI-powered programs that constantly probe the internet for vulnerable devices. This happens completely automatically, identifying targets within literally minutes of them being plugged in. Next is exploitation. The scanner doesn't even usually use a complex hack. It simply tries the device's default password. Then comes infection, where invisible malware gets installed while your device just continues to function normally. And finally, enlistment. Your device connects to the hacker's headquarters and just silently waits for its orders to attack. Section 3. The true scale of botnets. The 2026 surge. We really need to visualize just how rapidly this threat has escalated in a single year. The numbers here are frankly staggering. According to a recent Nokia threat intelligence report, there's been a 5-fold increase in malicious IoT botnet activity in just the last year. That is a massive jump from roughly 200,000 compromised devices to over 1 million. And remember, these aren't just abstract numbers on a screen. These represent actual physical devices in our homes and offices, hijacked and weaponized at an unprecedented scale. And the economic fallout from this is severe. When these massive botnets take down critical infrastructure, we're talking manufacturing plants, energy grids, water treatment facilities, it causes real-world chaos. To put that into perspective, a single major DDoS attack can cost a company up to $40,000 for every single hour of downtime. When you factor in recovery, lost business, and reputational damage, the average IoT security breach in 2026 is costing organizations upwards of $300,000. And this brilliantly illustrates the landscape we're dealing with today. You might actually remember the historic Mirai botnet. The publicly took down Twitter and Netflix back in 2016 with just 100,000 devices. Its evolved variants are still highly active today. Then you have RondoDox, which is a persistent modern threat creating secret backdoors in corporate networks. And, while we do see victories, like the massive March 2026 takedowns of Izuru and Mazad by the Department of Justice, which freed hundreds of thousands of devices, the reality is that the malware simply mutates and comes back stronger. Section 4. The fatal design flaw. Why IoT is so vulnerable. Okay, this is genuinely maddening. You really have to ask yourself, why is this massive security hole still sitting wide open? Like, why are these devices still so incredibly easy to hack? So the crucial point is that there is an industry-wide design flaw. These gadgets are built to be cheap, not secure. I mean, a $15 smart plug just doesn't have a $5 security budget, right? They use stripped-down operating systems that are hard or sometimes impossible to update. Then there's our own behavior. We plug them in, set them up, and completely forget about them for years. But the most exasperating part? Default passwords. Millions of devices still ship with factory passwords like admin or 12345, and users never change them. Global outages are quite literally being caused because someone left their smart light bulb password as admin. It's insane. Now, governments are finally stepping up to try and fix this. For example, the EU's 2026 NIS2 directive actually mandates minimum security standards and forces unique default passwords for all newly sold IoT devices, which is great for the future. But unfortunately, it does absolutely nothing to fix the billions of older, highly vulnerable devices that are already plugged into people's living rooms today.
But hey, don't unplug your router just yet. Section 5. 5 ways to protect yourself, simple fixes for your home. There are actual, concrete, empowering solutions here, and you absolutely do not need to be a cybersecurity expert to use them.
Here is your exact checklist to secure your home in under an hour. Number 1, change every default password immediately. If you just bought a device, changing the password is the very first thing you do. Number 2, check for and apply firmware updates. If a device hasn't had an update in years, replace it. Number 3, put your smart devices on a separate Wi-Fi guest network, keeping them completely isolated from your personal phone or laptop. Number 4, disable unused remote access features. If you don't need to control your camera from across the globe, turn that feature off. And number 5, always research security reports before buying a new gadget. Remember, your wallet is your vote. I really love this quote from the source material. The front line of cybersecurity isn't in some distant data center. It's in your living room. Taking those 5 simple steps we just talked about is exactly like remembering to lock your physical front door at night. It's just basic digital hygiene, and it ensures that your devices are working exclusively for you and not for a criminal halfway across the world. So, I want to leave you with a lingering question. Right now, as you watch this explainer, how many devices in your home still have their factory default passwords? If you don't know the answer for sure, as soon as this is over, it's time to check. Please share this explainer with someone you know who just bought a new smart device. They absolutely need to see this. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden tech shaping our world. See you next time.